I want both of them to win, but they both want her and they aren't willing to share. And it's drama. And then I hate the third person because why are you hurting my people? And then hey Disney friends, welcome to our channel. If you are new, and welcome back if you're returning. I'm Nikki, your favorite little sister, and today is Nikkimas. So we're talking tropes, the ones I like and the ones I don't. 3 of them at least. So my 3 top tropes right now are kidnapping, friends to lovers, and marriage of convenience. It truly changes.
Friends to lovers.
It truly changes depending on my mood, but those 3 are always on the list. They're just not always the top 3. The ones that are all on the list that I don't like, no matter what mood I'm in, what I'm feeling, I don't like to read. Love triangles, miscommunication, so annoying, and cheating trope. However, I have read them done well, so I do have some recs for those categories. But starting with kidnapping, it's the dark romance lover in me. There's just something so romantic in a book for the guy that wants you so bad that he kidnaps you. I actually haven't read any stories where the girl kidnaps the guy. Authors, let's work on that. That might be interesting. But the ones I have read, I'm just like, tell me you love me. Okay, you abducted me. Now I have to be with you. Forced proximity. Like, you want me forever. I get it. That's the back and forth. Her not wanting him, even though she does. And we know because we're in her head. But she has to stay strong. I live for it. So, my 2 recs for kidnapping. Unfortunately, Francine by Joan Bazer. Let me tell you, this was my first book by Miss Joan, and obviously it was not our last. We became obsessed. This story, in the synopsis, it tells you this girl gets kidnapped. In the prologue, sweet Francine gets abducted. Miss Joan is going to bring you the heat every time in a prologue. And this story was so good and complex. And what's so great about it is the kidnapping, it's honestly kind of secondary, but not. Like, there's so much story in here. And there are point of views that we get in this book that I didn't know I needed, that I didn't know I wanted. The way she constructed this story was phenomenal. One thing about Miss Joan is she's going to give you the full picture. Like, I feel like she's one of the most unbiased authors that I have ever read. So it's never just cut and dry with her. There's always layers. There's always going to be something, and I love it. If you have never read, unfortunately, Francine, you need to. And word on the street is book 2 might be coming soon. So, unfortunately, Francine. My second kidnapping book is Gangsta Lovin', a Gotten Hills love story novella. Excuse me, this is book 3 in the Gotten Hills series. And I mean, this is kind of like a light kidnapping, but like, she gets kidnapped into a freaking mansion. Kidnap me. Love me, saint. It's a novella, so the pacing is really fast, but it gave everything it needed to. It was giving enemies to lovers, forced proximity. Like, you can't resist, you want this man. It was perfection. Highly, highly recommend. Again, for kidnapping trope, that is Unfortunately Francine by Joan Bazer and Gangster Lovin', a Gotten Hills novella by Aubrey Penn. Next, we have one of my tried and trues, Friends to Lovers. Sarita hates Friends to Lovers. I don't know why. I think it's so romantic.
It's predictable. You always knew you wanted me.
I don't know why. It's so romantic. You find your person. You have your person. Does it get messy sometimes? Yes. Yes, it does. But sometimes true love is messy. And that's okay. I love Friends to Lovers. So up first, we have Be With Me by Alexandra House. I'm gonna post the new covers because they are gorgeous, but obviously I got the series before the new covers. This is book 3. Nikki Strickland. She fits into a few categories on my hair list, but I decided to use her for Friends to Lovers because her and Damon like had such a geeky, fun, cute relationship. I loved it. This one was messy. Nikki Strickland was a whole mess. You kind of feel like you know her because obviously book 3, it's a series of sisters, so you kind of feel like you know her, but there was so much more to Nikki. And Damon, oh my gosh, the way that man could flip something on his head and just make it the sweetest thing. And he's a geek. He likes anime and comics. Like, he's giving my soulmate. But I let Nikki have him. This one was a really quick, fun Friends to Lovers. It did not play out the way I thought it was going to. So that's always fun and interesting because sometimes as a reader, even though you enjoy it, things can get predictable. I felt like this one had a really nice, fun twist. Next, we have one of my all-time favorite Friends to Lovers. It's Always Been You by Tay Monet. This one, it really hit me in my heart, okay? It had all the things. It had that great dynamic between two friends falling in love, but it also had foster kids. It had just family and lost souls finding each other. This one was just perfect. Like, I loved it. It is on audio. I haven't actually listened to the audio yet, even though I know Sarita owns it. But
I like the audio. They did a good job.
Because it was a good story. Friends Lovers is great. It was.
We're playing in people's faces.
Bitter exes. It just gave all the things you want.
You should call me a bitter ex.
The story had bitter exes. It just gave all the things you want in a Friends to Lovers. In a beautiful, sweet package full of love and family, and it hit me on my heartstrings. Like, can't nobody say nothing about this book to me. Let's fight. Plain and simple. I love it. Okay, and one of my all-time favorite things to read is Marriage of Convenience. Okay, I love the back and forth. I'm only in this because I need something from you. I just want something from you. I don't really want you, but I do, but I don't, and then they're together. Love it. Absolutely love Marriage of Convenience, especially when like one of the partners is bitter about the marriage. Whoo, that is my bread and butter, because you don't want to love me, but I'm so damn lovable, you can't help but love me. That's what it gives. But one of my all-time favorites, Marriage of Convenience, is The Marriage Contract by Shay Davis. This was actually my first Shay Davis book ever, and I listened to the audio, and when I say it changed my life, okay, this is when she became my obsession, right? And this is before I even learned that she was Eva Cherie. So this is technically not the first book I've ever read by her that was held in contempt. If you have not read and listened to Held in Contempt, get your life. The audio is a must. This one too. And this is a full cast, so I can't even begin. Wesley Siobhan Productions, need I say more? I don't. But this one was my first Shay Davis book, and it was, every time I think of Marriage Convenience, this is the first book that pops up.
My first Wesley Siobhan Productions too.
It was my first Wesley Productions too as well. This was Sarita would call fluff, I guess, but it was just so perfect. Like, this was truly finding your person when you needed them the most, and in the most unexpected way. It didn't have like the bitter commitment, but it really gave like the convenience of marriage and finding your person when the world is watching. Is just like, it hits different. I love this story. Marriage of Convenience. The next Marriage of Convenience is a completely different vibe. I'm technically showing you 2 books, even though it's kind of like the first book gives more Marriage of Convenience, but The Rhythm of Blues and The Rhythm of Love by Love Veltman. This book took me through an emotional roller coaster. I cried for days after I finished it. Don't even get me started while I was reading it. Every day, by the end of the day, I would need a hug from everyone in my family because that's how broken and torn up I was. This is beautifully written artwork. This is perfection personified, okay? Perfection. This is what I'm talking about, those bitter that I have to marry you situations. It could also fit Miscommunications, but it's more of a marriage to convenience to me. This series was the most heartbreakingly beautiful story I have ever read. Like, it just hit you in the feels, man. Raji and Winter were honestly like the most mismatch perfect connection ever. It was unexpected. I was not prepared. I was not ready. I went in knowing that it was an emotional story. Sarita did not fully prepare me. She did not.
I told you that it was going to be exactly what you wanted.
It was exactly what I wanted.
Good story.
And it was that marriage of convenience at its finest. But a lot of stuff was going on. So if you've never read Love Belvin, she is a poetic, wordy writer, and I live for that. I love it. So you're not just getting the one layer of the story. Like, there is so much backstory, there's so much history, there's so many things, moving pieces going on all around the characters. And in the midst of all that, we have this marriage of convenience dynamic of these two people who really ain't trying to mess with each other. But they're married and it's forced proximity and it's perfect. I love this story. I haven't read it again because I'm not that strong, so I don't know how Sarita reads it like every month, but it is so good, you guys. If you can toughen it out, and this is from someone who doesn't like to toughen it out, but I've done it, and I had to because this was the book of the month, the whole series, and I actually owe Instagram a full review because I wasn't strong enough to finish it in time, but that's besides the point. The point is, if you can toughen it out and read this series, I promise you a good time. I promise that you will be angry. I promise that you'll be sad. I promise that you'll be ready to throw the book against the wall in frustration and shake the characters. But by the end, baby, you're gonna be in love. You are going to be madly in love. There is friendship. There are enemies. There's family. There's drama. There's everything. Family drama. And not in the way I like, but not the way it was really good. It was really good. I cannot preach from the towers loud enough. This one right here, it hits different, but it hits the spot every time. Check out Marriage of Convenience by Shay Davis and the Rhythm and Love and Blues series by Love Belvin for Marriage of Convenience. Okay, so now it's time for the soaps I don't like. So I feel like the fact that I can give y'all books is a testament to how good these stories are. Yeah, I don't like them. I was forced to either read it or I didn't know that it was a part of the particular trope that it fits in at the time. But it was so good, I finished it and I loved it. So first up, love triangles. I hate love triangles because there's only 3 options, right? The one you like gets the girl or the guy, which rarely happens that the one I want to win wins. Sarita says it's a me thing and not the them thing, but I feel like that's a them thing. The second option, obviously the person I want to get the person does it, and then I'm devastated and they're devastated and it's just not fair. And then lastly, I want both of them to win, but they both want her and they aren't willing to share, and it's drama. And then I hate the third person because why are you hurting my people? And it's not a happy place, you know? So I hate love triangles. So again, testament to these stories. Kindred, Sander. I've been talking about this book since I read it, you guys. Excuse me, there is a love triangle in here. It had me, I was already sad, but that one had my blood pressure on 1,000. I was angry and I was hurt. Especially because now that I've healed some, I can admit that she handled the situation better than I would have. Because your girl here, she's petty. Okay, petty. And when I'm hurt, I want you to bleed. So, you know, kudos. I have to take myself out. And this love triangle was good, baby. It was good because you liked him. When I did not want to like him. Robbie Renee did her thing with this one. This one was another one that tore me apart and broke me down, but I loved the second half of it. The first half had me ready to fight everybody, especially Sarita. So good. The next love triangle, One Ain't Enough by Mo Flames. This one also could fit into a lot of categories on my dislike list. But Mo did her big one with this, okay? It was dramatic. It was messy. It was crazy. It was the lights was lighting, which is everything that the story was meant to be. Like, it was not meant to be a cute, wholesome story. Desi here. Desi was dizzy and very loose with her body. But the love triangle between Troy, I don't know if I should tell you the love triangle between. The love triangle between this one, like, upsets you and it stresses you out and it makes you angry. Like, there's no other way of saying it. You're just like, really, Desiree? Really? So, I can't. You gotta keep reading the whole series because you just, she gonna stress you out. She's gonna have you feeling some type of way, and Mo is gonna defend her till she's blue in the face because that's her girl. But this love triangle was unexpected because you didn't feel like there should be a love triangle. They just, Desiree, what are you doing? But if you can take a step back from like, Desiree, what are you doing? You understand why. Even if you don't agree with it, you think it was dumb, you think she's dumb, you understand why there was a love triangle. The lights are lighting. Mo is serious with the layering of all the drama and the craziness and the mess and the fun. Like, it had a little bit of everything. Mostly I was just like, damn, Desiree. But that's the point of the story. You don't get to the, okay, Desiree, until the whole series, at the end of the series. So you have to cop the whole thing. Don't stop here. But love triangle. Excuse me. So again, for love triangles, we have Kindred Xander by Renee. One Ain't Enough by Mo Flames. Okay, and out of all of these, Miscommunication trope is probably the one I hate the most. Because miscommunication, sorry about the alarm. They're coming, so they say. But miscommunication trope can really take a great story that I'm fully enraptured, I'm fully committed, I'm there with them. And then it's just like, okay, now I'm pulling my hair because who are you playing with? Just talk. Miscommunication is the most unexpected. Usually the other ones are in the synopsis. So with miscommunication, it can just pop up and that stresses me out. I cannot stand miscommunication. But I have read it done right, even though it drives me crazy, even in books I love, because I just want to shake them like, please use your head. Maybe their words aren't saying it, but their actions are. Come on, girl. First and foremost, she's thick. Over 700 pages. Demon's Dream by L.K. Sam. This one fits into some categories. This one is thick and crazy and you're like, whoa, that's overwhelming. I'm telling you, it was not enough pages. I could have kept going for decades. I read this book in a day and a half. And if I did not need to sustain my life, I probably would have finished it in a day. This story was so good. It had a lot of layers. It was urban. It was lies. It was drama. There was murder. Okay? She heavy, y'all. But the miscommunication between some of the characters drove me crazy. Because, again, maybe I'm not saying it worked. And I'm Sorry that you didn't hear it, but my actions are saying what I need to say, girl. This one was a fun read. Besides the little bit of miscommunication, and it was done in such like a tasteful, it made sense kind of way, because also sometimes I feel like miscommunication does not make sense. You're just choosing not to open your mouth. This one kind of made sense, even though I didn't agree with the character. I understood where the character was coming from. But like, it had everything. The men were crazy and like sexy and like did real murder, like real crimes. They were criminals. And I was here for it. Yeah. That's my babe. Okay, the next miscommunication is kind of fun because it's not exactly miscommunication, but it is, because it's like a lie of omission is still a lie. Aphrodisiac by Tia Love. This miscommunication was done really fast and really quickly, even though it kind of built up over time, if that makes sense. This was just a fun, sexy read. Morgan was like no female character I have read, especially not recently. This girl knew her worth. She owned her sexuality and her sensuality. Like, she was that chick, okay? She was bomb. She played the game better than any man. They was on her tail and she had no cares to give, okay? Men were for one purpose and she used them for that purpose and then set them aside. Now, Giuseppe wasn't for that, okay? But Giuseppe didn't open his mouth at occasions, and that created the miscommunication trope. I really enjoy it when it's done this way. It stresses you out and you're like ready to pull your hair out, but not to the point where it's annoying and you want to stop reading. Because sometimes that's what happened with me with miscommunication. I want to stop reading, and then, so I will stop, take a break, and then come back. I did not need to do that with either of these stories, as y'all can see. This one, and it's a hardcover, because that's how Tia rolls with her Patreon. We get hardcovers occasionally. Again, for miscommunication, we have Aphrodisiac by Tia Love and Demon's Dream by Elle Kaysen. Demon's Dream is actually my first story about Elle Kaysen, and like now I've just been buying her books. I haven't had a chance to read any, but I can tell I like her writing, because this story right here, there's a reason all the girls was hitting the streets for it. Miscommunication. Okay, our last trope is cheating trope. I can't stand a cheater. Just tell me you don't want to be with me. Like, let's not play in each other's face, because now I have to hurt you dearly and severely because you hurt me when you could have just said you don't want to be with me. And I don't like when it's like, okay, but I do love you, I do want to be with you. Don't love me like that. Don't love me like that. I also find cheating tropes to be done like not in a way I enjoy most times. I feel like it's either unrealistic because the person is still like lagging behind this cheater like a lost puppy, and I'm just like, why are we here? She don't want you, he don't want you. Keep it pushing. You have more self-respect than this. Or the person that I like is just so like, I don't like cheating tropes. They drive me crazy, but sometimes it can be fun. The first one is The Sweetest Heat by Bianca Xavier. Y'all see that cover? You see that cover? Let me tell you right now real quick. This book was naughty. The lights were lighting immediately. It was unexpected. I was not prepared, but I was thoroughly enthralled, okay? And it was a first person story. So even then I was like, okay, I feel like we're gonna jump into someone's head now. We're gonna jump into someone's head now. We didn't jump into their heads. We didn't. But we didn't need to. We didn't need to. I don't know why this particular way of cheating was okay for me. But I think it was because it was just such a quick, fast read in a hurry, and it gave the lights and then it got done. Like, it was meant to give more erotica than anything else, but there was story to it, which I loved. This was actually Crystal from Books and Soul actually brought me this book. So I gotta thank her for the rec because it was given, baby. It was given. Now on the opposite end of the spectrum is All the Things I'm Missing at Home by Nikkimas. This book is why I don't like cheating tropes. It was so messy. It was so messy. Okay, if you don't mind a messy read, this is the story for you. Okay, it was dramatic. There was lights. There was lights, but I feel like it was overshadowed by my broken heart. Okay, this was another one that I read in a day, but that's only because I had to, because as I stated, I don't like reading tropes, and in the synopsis it mentions it's pretty much a reading trope. So I was like, I don't read that. But we was interviewing her for this particular book in another book, and I was like, I gotta read it. So I didn't read it to the day of because I was like fighting it so hard, but I couldn't put it down. We're following 4 people. It's so messy. And I think that's what I love about it. All the drama and all the mess kind of made it worth it, because you're just like, you're looking over here, then you're looking over there, then you're looking over there, and you're looking over there, and you're like, where do I look? And when are these people gonna suffer for their crimes? That's why I'm hooked, because y'all, as y'all know, I want the punishment to match the crime, and I need book 2 because it ends on a cliffhanger. So read this, but wait till book 2 comes out if you're like me, because I'm like in her DMs every other week, like, okay, but that book though. But it looks like living. I need to read the next book because I need these people to pay for their crimes. And what's crazy is I cried reading this book because it has so many layers. As soon as you think you know, she hits you in the gut. Like, not hit you in the spot, she punches you in your gut, okay? And you're like, oh. That's what Nikkimas did to me with this story. So at first you're just like, oh, I can't wait for you to get caught. I can't wait for you to get caught. Like, you're holding on for that moment, and then she gut punches you. And you're like, wait, what? Okay. Now I need the repercussions. I need the crime to get handled, okay? I need that punishment to be like life, or I don't know, death sentence, okay? That's the impact, right? So after that, you're just like, it's just catnip. I could not stop reading, okay? By the end of it, I was like, hey, yo, where's that book though? It ain't here yet. If you can handle some mess, this book for you. And I like that it's is it multi-plot or multi-point of view? It's multi-point of view. Where Demon's Dream is multi-plot and multi-point of view, this one's also multi-plot, multi-point of view. Like, there's so much going on that the cheating almost becomes second hand, even though there's so much of it. I can't explain it, but like, if I'm gonna read a cheating trope, it has to be like these 2 stories, because they truly irk my soul. I don't like reading stories where someone is intentionally being hurt, and even if that's not your intention, you're hurting them. That's your intention. You're too selfish to care. But this one, yeah. I don't know how these authors made me be able to love and enjoy some of these stories with tropes that I genuinely hate to read and genuinely avoid. Like, all these books I read by except for Demon's Dream, the Miscommunication snuck up on me. All the other ones I read for a specific reason, or even Aphrodisiac, I didn't know it was going to be Miscommunication, but all of them I read for a specific reason, and I'm so happy I did, because these books are game changers. Game changers. Now, if you stuck around, it's that time again. It's that time again. Ooh. Thank you, sister. Oh, this is cute. I can't get it off. I'm gonna have to rip it off. She got me a cup with a straw. My favorite thing. And it's insulated. It's my favorite thing. Thank you, sister. Thank you for sticking around. What are some of your favorite tropes? What are the tropes you can't stand? Like, you avoid like the plague, because I'm with you. I'm just being honest. If I don't like to read it, I don't like to read it. What are those tropes for you guys? What are the tropes you love that you see it, you're immediately like, that's on me? Let me know. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, ring a ding ding. Until next time, bye guys.